Hello everyone, this is Doily and welcome to Doily's Art Studio. So I'll be starting a new series on making crochet laces as well as doily. So this is my first tutorial in this series, and I'll be starting from very basic, like it's a beginner tutorial. So these are all doilies I made, and then I put them to form this beautiful flower, and these flowers you can use in your craft projects. But today I'll be starting with this small doily. As I said, this is a beginner's class, I mean like tutorial. So hope you all will enjoy making these doilies with me. So for this I started with this thread. It is a classic number 10 thread, and actually I got this from Walmart. Generally I buy my threads from Hobby Lobby. This time like I was just shopping in Walmart, so I thought like I'll just buy it from there. It's a similar size, only thing it's a different company. And for that I'll be using this 1.5 mm crochet needle. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, let me zoom a little bit. Okay, so first thing is you will be holding this. So I'm going to hold it like this, and also maybe I'm going to make a loop, some thread around this index finger, and then hold it like this. Okay, and then what we are going to do, we are going to make a loop like this. Did you see? Okay, I'll show you again. So don't hold it very tight, don't put too much tension on the thread, just tight enough so that you can move your needle on this thread. Then you have to put your thread like needle like this and turn it around anti-clockwise, and you will form this loop around the needle, and then hold it tightly. Then again you are going to put this thread around your needle and pull this thread back in this loop. Okay, so that way you will form this first loop. Okay, I will show you again. This was your thread, starting thread. Put your needle below this thread, make a loop in anti-clockwise direction, and if you want, you hold this and hold it tightly here and leave some space, like little space between the loop, and then again you will go below this thread and pull it back in the loop and just tighten this knot here. Okay, so that way you will have this loop on your needle. Now we are going to do chain stitch, so we will be starting with chain stitch. So this is our first loop of our chain. Now we are going to make next loop. So again you are going to put this needle below the thread, pull it back, and this is going to be your next loop. Again pull your needle below this thread, and if you want you can release one loop around the finger below this thread and then pull it back into third loop. So likewise we have to make 7 loops. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so it will look like this. 1 2 3 4 5 6 and this is 7. Now I think sorry, I think we'll make 9 loops, not the 7 loop. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. Okay, now what we are going to do, this is the chain of 8 loops. So what we are going to do, we are going to put this needle into the first loop. You have to make sure, like while putting okay, you have to make sure that you will be inserting. Now we are going to do slip stitch. So for that we are going to put this needle in the first loop, and you have to make sure that there are 2 threads coming over this needle. Okay, and then again you are going to put your needle below the thread and going to pull it from all 3 loops like this. So this will form the circle of the loop. So this is your first step. Okay, I'll show you. So this, like, you will form this circle over here. Now we will be starting with this second with the second step. Okay, for that again just don't worry about this thread, don't worry about this thread, just hold it in your hand, or if it is interfering too much you can cut little bit. Okay, now again we are going to make 3 chains. Again, sorry, 1 2 and 3. Okay, now we will start with double stitch. For that you are going to put this thread around your needle, but don't pull it back in the loop. Instead of that you will get into this circle and then pull your thread like this. Did you get this? So what are you going to do? You are going to pull this thread around your needle, get into the circle, pull this thread, and then there will be 3 loops on your needle. Now what you are going to do, you are going to pull this thread, put your needle back in the below the thread, pull it in from first 2 loops, then again you will have 2 loops on your needle, and again pull it from next 2 loops. So this will form first your double stitch. Okay, so I will show you again. So this is the loop you had on your needle. Put the needle below the thread, don't pull it in this loop, instead get into this circle, go back and pull this thread, okay, all the way up. Now you have 3 loops on your thread, on your needle. Pull it from first 2 loops and then next 2 loops. So this is your second double stitch, and since we had these 3 chains, it will form your first double stitch, these 3 chains. So in total you have 3 double stitch. Likewise, you have to create total 24 double stitch in this loop. So I mean, like, if we remove this and if we have to do a double stitch in this format, there are going to be 23 double stitch, and plus 1, this is 24 double stitch. Okay, so let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 I'm sorry 7 8 9 10. Okay, so continue like this 24 times total. Okay, so I made this double stitches 24 times. Like, if you including these 3 stitches, so total there are 24 double stitches. And now after 24th we are going to do slip stitch again. So for that we have these 3 chains, so 1 2 3. So you will be going in this third let me see. Okay, 1 1 2 3. So you will be going in this third chain, again pulling the, again go below this thread and pull it all the way from this thread here. Okay, so that way you will connect these 2 ends of the circle. Okay. Now next thing is we are going to go do this third line. Okay, for that, so we have total 24 we have total 24 double stitches. Now what we are going to do, again make 3 chains. So depend, when you have to go, when you start new on the next line, you always start with chains. So if you have to make a single stitch or double stitch, it depends upon what kind of stitch you have to make. Since we are making double stitch, we are going to make again 3 chains, 1 2 3. Okay, now we are going to make again 3 more chains, 1 2 3. Okay, so total going to be 6 chain, and then again we are going to do double stitch. So put your thread around this needle, don't pull it back. Now we are going to leave this chain below, like this stitch, double stitch, and will go into the next double stitch. So if you see, will not get into this, but will get into this. If you see, there is a small hole, get into this hole, and make sure that you have these 2 loops on your needle. Pull your thread. Okay, so now you will have 3 loops on your needle. Again put your needle below the thread, pull it from 2 loops. You will have 2 loops on your needle, and again pull the loop in, pull the thread into 1 loop. I will show you in next double stitch. Make a 3 chain, 1 2 3. Okay, Put your thread around the needle and then leave next double stitch, go into the next one, then again you will have 2 chains on your needle, pull the thread, again you will have 3 loops on your needle, put your needle or put your thread around the needle, pull it from first 2 chains. Wait a minute, so I missed it somewhere. Wait a minute. Okay, put your thread around the needle, get into this double stitch, and then you will have 3 chains, so 3 loops around your needle, pull it from 2 loops, you will have 2 loops again on your needle, and again pull it from this 2 loop into a 1 loop. Okay, I will show you again. 1 2 3. Would then put your thread around the needle, leave this double stitch, go to the next one, pull the thread, you will have 3 loops on your needle, pull the thread from first 2 loops, and then again you will have 2 loops, so pull the thread from next 2 loops to form a 1 loop. So this will continue 12 times. Okay, I will show you some. 1 2 3, again turn around, put into the double stitch by leaving 1 double stitch, 1 2 3, one, 2, 3, okay, 1 2 3, 1 2 1 2 3, again 1 2 So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, 1 2 3, 1 2 10, 1 2 3, 1 2 let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, and one more, 1 2 3 okay, and now we are going to end this third line. So again we are going to put 3 chains, and so as I said, like these 3 chains formed 1 double chain, so we are going into the third loop. So 1 2 3, get into the third loop, make sure that you have kind of 2 threads on your, if you see, okay, on your needle, pull this thread, like go below this thread and pull it all the way from 3 loops like this. So now you have these 3 steps ready. Okay, now we will start with forming this 4th line. Okay, so for that, sorry, okay, now we are going to make, okay, we are going to make a two, let me think. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to make a single stitch, not the double stitch. We are going to make a single stitch. So for that, get into this first gap. Don't put thread around your needle, just get into this first gap, pull the first gap, pull the thread. You will have 2 loops on your needle, and then pull the thread again from 2 loops. So that way you will form a single stitch. Okay, now we are going to do 3 double stitch in this gap. So again, put your thread around your needle, get into the same gap, pull the thread. First pull from first 2 loops, and again the next 2 loops. So this is our first double stitch. Next, again put the thread around your needle, get into the same gap, pull the thread, again pull the thread from first 2 loops, and again next 2 loops. This is your second double stitch. Again third double stitch, pull the thread, pull it from first 2 loops, and again third loop. And now again we are going to make a single stitch. So put it in the same gap, just pull the thread and single stitch. So if you see, it forms this shape over here. Okay, again, so it starts with a single stitch, then it forms 3 double stitches, and then it ends again with a single stitch. So again we are going into the next gap. As I said, we'll start with single stitch. So put your needle into the next gap. We are going to make single stitch, so don't put thread around your needle. Just get into the next gap, pull the thread. You will have 2 loops on your needle, and then pull the thread. Okay, this is single stitch. Now we are going to make 3 double stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we form 3 double stitches. As I said, we will end this with a single stitch. Okay, this is your second gap. Get into the third gap, start with single stitch, 3 double stitches, and 1, like the last one, single stitch. So if you see, it will look like this. Okay, again get into the next gap, single stitch, double stitch, like 3 double stitch, 1 2 1 2 1 2, end with single stitch. Okay, so you are going to fill in all these gaps. I will show you 2 more and then you can continue by your own. Single stitch, 3 double stitches, 1 2 3 and 1 single stitch. Get into the next gap, 1 single stitch, 2 3 double stitches, 1 single stitch, the last one. Okay, so just fill in all these gaps. Okay, so now you have this 4th line ready. Again, in last gap you made 1 single stitch, 3 double stitches and 1 single stitch, and you have this loop on your needle. Now how we are going to end, let's see. So what we are going to, so always we end line with slip stitch, as I said. So what, if you see this like a slight hole over here, so what you are going to put your thread, sorry, your needle in this hole, like it's a first chain of your first first design when you started. So you are going to put this needle in this first chain, so you will have these 3 loops on your thread. Pull your thread all the way from all loops. Sometimes it becomes little difficult, so put this thread little bit loose on your needle, go into the first chain, or you can pull it first from first 2 loops and then from this loop. Let me see. Okay, and to end this, what we are going to do, just cut your thread over here, and then I cut it more, like you can leave a little more thread and just pull this thread from this loop so that it will form a stitch, like a knot, not a stitch, knot. Okay, and then you can just pull it on the back and then you can cut the remaining one. So this is how your doily ready. Okay, I hope you got all the steps. If you have any questions regarding this, please feel free to let me know and put your comments in comment box, and I will see you next time. So thank you so much for watching my tutorial. Have a good day and see you next time. Bye.